Welcome back. Coming at you today with 2 book reviews. That's right, the old 2-for-1 deal. I was trying to read 100 books this year. I have 7 left. 7 left. So I've been really cranking through quite a few in the last month or so. As I was reading those books, I came across 2, actually back to back, that had themes that were contrary to one another, and I thought it would be interesting to maybe do a video about 2 books at one time. It turned out that one of those books I liked and one of those I really didn't. It'll be very clear here in a minute why. The first book I read was Wampum. It's a story of how Indian casinos were created and grew into the massive multi-billion-dollar industry that they are today. It's an interesting story. It's full of intrigue. The mafia gets involved. There's all kinds of government conspiracies, people getting paid off. Really a unique story, and one that I'd never heard before, not in this kind of detail anyway. I won't go into any details about this book. If you want to know more, if you're interested, definitely read it. It gives a really good perspective on everything that happened. The second book I read recently, didn't really enjoy it. It's called Raw Deal. Raw Deal. Raw Deal. Raw Deal. It's called Raw Deal. I'll read you the subtitle and you'll pretty much understand what the entire book is about. How the Uber economy and runaway capitalism are screwing American workers. Please. I picked up this book because I'm a very fringe techno geek. I read a few blogs, a few websites. I watch tech videos. The new MacBook Pro came out. I read all about that. Every time an iPhone comes out, I read about that. So I saw this book at the library and I said, hey, let's read a contrary opinion, something that's different from my own. What better way to learn something than to read a perspective that's just totally separate from mine? So that's what I was hoping to get out of this book, was a different perspective. Unfortunately, it ends up turning into kind of just a whiny, not very well thought out, although well researched treatise on everything the author thinks is wrong with the modern technology-based economy. I read pages and pages in this book where I was just shaking my head saying, this is just a guy that doesn't want to keep up with the times and wrote a whole book to convince other people that they shouldn't keep up with the times because this guy said that everyone is wrong about the Uber economy. I'm not going to give a whole bunch of details about that. It's really just going to make me angry. My argument against this kind of thinking is very simple. It actually boils down to a pretty simple anecdote, in that the guy that owned 10,000 horses the day that Ford sold his first Model T was also mad about the growth of technology. Okay, so now play a fun game with yourself for just a second and try and figure out the connection that I made between Raw Deal and Wampum. So my thinking goes like this. It's pretty straightforward, really. One of these books, Wampum, is about a whole bunch of people that saw an opportunity to make a whole lot of money based on the changing laws and cultural norms in the United States. The other book is about a guy who, rather than seeing the opportunity in the changing technology, wants to complain about how it's different than what he is used to, and is going to spend a whole bunch of time researching and writing a book, convincing other people, like I said earlier, that that's an okay opinion to have, instead of writing a book about how those people can deal with those problems, with those changes that they aren't ready for. Pretty straightforward, right? Sees the opportunity, takes it, makes a lot of money. Sees the opportunity, doesn't take it, complains about it, doesn't make any money. I don't know, maybe that's a stretch. That's just kind of the thinking that I had. I always try and glean bigger, broader ideas from these books rather than trying to get all the little nitty-gritty. If you like the nitty-gritty, check out my blog. I'll link it below. I give a few more anecdotes and stories. If you like the nitty-gritty, check out my blog. I'll link it below. It has a few more anecdotes and details, things I don't really talk about in these videos, but things that I take down in my notes while I'm reading the books. you'll find a little bit more, but not an exhaustive list of things that I found interesting from these books. So that's it. I hope you like this book mashup. I'll probably do more like this. I don't know. I'm gonna see where this idea takes me. As always, thanks for watching. If you like the video, if you like the content, please subscribe below, and I'll see you next time.